Arnes, what'd you get me here?
I got you a nice little present, Steve.
Oh man, you actually got me the Memorial 1984 Godzilla Bandai vinyl?
Yes, I did.
Oh man, this thing looks super... What's wrong with the spines, man? Why does Godzilla not have pupils?
He does. Just look closer. You can see a little gold in there, sparkles.
I'm pretty sure somebody was like, man, this figure's worth something. Let's paint his eyes gold. I'm sure that'll be a great idea.
Yeah, that's how it happened, man.
Where'd you order this from?
Amazon. Yes. Amazon.
Did you order this from China?
Yes.
Is this from eBay?
Yes, it is.
I want to put this as Super Arnes. Alright. Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name is Arnes.
Today, I guess we're going over the bootleg 1984 Memorial Godzilla box set figure.
But Steve, he's got the right markings. It's legit. Legit.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy enough on eBay. Let me guess, you paid $30? Probably around 30 for him?
$32.49. Ugh.
So it wasn't the like $200 or so that this guy usually goes for. Huh. It's crazy, right?
I can add a zero to make you feel better. Paid $342 for him.
You know what? That probably would actually make me feel better. But then I'd be upset that you got a figure that looked like this. Alright, so all joking aside, the main reason why this figure is actually cool, the main reason why I personally would really want this is because I really love the 1984 Godzilla. No, definitely one of my favorite suits. It's actually probably my second favorite suit of all time.
No, he looks fantastic, dude. Besides a paint job, which
we'll get into. But the main reason this figure would be so sought after is because the original Memorial box set figure is a very good looking figure and probably the best representation you can get of that guy outside of X Plus. And also the figure is super hard to get a hold of because it came in a box set. It's the only way to get it. So an option that some of you might be looking for is to pick up a bootleg, which is this guy came from good old China. But he actually came in pretty easily from my understanding. Like we didn't have to fight, didn't have to order him a few times. The guy actually was just like, hey, here you go.
First order and came here from China in less than 5 days, man.
Free shipping. So thanks to that guy. So if you guys are worried about getting him shipped, it seems like he's pretty easy to get a hold of. But moving in for some closer look at his details because he doesn't come with a box or tag or absolutely nothing. As far as head sculpt, actually, sculpt-wise, is really awesome looking. Like, I feel like they captured the suit very well in this bootleg. And for my understanding, probably what happened is they got the mold for the figure. Like, they went and actually, like, picked up the Memorial box set figure and then just made molds of it themselves. Did whatever they wanted to with the paint job and shipped it out. Because there's actually, like, I think you can get them with pink spines.
Yeah.
That's an option, too. Which I kind of actually wanted that a little bit more, mainly just because this is a bootleg. I want people to know that it's a bootleg, so if I magically decide to sell my collection one of these days, which I don't really think is going to happen, I don't want people to be confused. Because for starters, this guy has gold eyes, no pupils. Well, you can see there's details for the pupil, but they decided just to leave his eyes one solitary color. Gold's an odd choice. Especially, I imagine they would have just went with the paint job they did for the dorsal spines, which are freaking atrocious. Like, I feel like Arnes pointed out, probably the best thing what happened is they just probably dipped it in some paint and called it a day. That's what it looks like. Like, you even see like the black plastic coming in through underneath, and some of the paint isn't even holding up very well. Like, I could take my nail onto this and just...
No, Steve, it feels
horrible.
Destroying the value.
Oh, it's atrocious. Like, I even like to, like, the spines are still, like, hooked together because of the paint. Like, you have to pop them off. Oh, it's so bad with the paint job. Especially going out through the tail. But I guess they got the spines pretty well. I guess compared to, like, some of the Bandai creations, like, it could be worse, I guess. But for the most part, it's not great. But back for the head sculpt. They actually painted the teeth pretty nice, though. Like, his tongue's actually painted on the inside, too, which is actually really nice. For the head sculpt, it really doesn't bother me at all. Like, especially with the mold, it really actually translates very nicely. And the scaling actually does it pretty well overall. You lose a little bit of detail, like, around the necklines, but for the most part, still really nice. For his body, you get a lot of very nice bubbling skin textures here for the front section. You even get some nice definition for the bicep. Body shape, very reminiscent of the movie. Definitely better than what we got with the NECA version.
It's a good replica of the suit then, right?
Yes, so the suit actually, this figure actually looks pretty close to the suit. It's just that paint job though, man. Like, oh. But you actually get some of the textures here on the underside of the dorsal spines here. So you can tell the mold's there, just the paint isn't really. Like, even on the tail here, too. And then for his arms, can rotate back and forth pretty well. And they're just in a more downward angle. Just kind of like he's just like walking or doing the hustle, something. But on his hands, they're actually shiny. Like, I don't know why, but for the most of his body, you don't really get any shine to it at all.
Well, isn't like his whole body, the original one, supposed to be shiny like that?
I think so. Like, this is more how it would translate throughout the rest of it, while in this figure, it's pretty flat overall, which I actually kind of like, personally.
So they started with the shiny and got lazy?
Yeah, I just got like a hybrid or something. But the paint job for the nails overall isn't really all that bad. Or it has a bone coloring for the nails, which actually, they painted those actually pretty nice. But on the intersection, you kind of see where they kind of tapered off, like they just took the brush and just went over top, called it a day. But there are some details on the undersection of the hands too, which look really nice. Then for his legs here too, have a lot of nice details to it, a little bit of added bulk, which is very nice. And for his feet, look great as well. The paint job on the feet actually translate really nicely though. Like, they overall look pretty good.
Until you look at the bottom.
Until you look at the bottom, you can tell that they just didn't even bother with the undersection. But what's actually interesting though, is this figure actually has the correct markings. Like, you'll see here, it has the trademarks, the Toho copyrights 1984. Other side has the Bandai copyrights 2003, made in China, which this actually was. Which is probably the scariest part about the figure.
Yeah, that's...
Because when you pick... This is where it gets kind of sketchy. Because once it has, like, the markings on it and stuff, that's where you could look at it and be like... You could try to fake it off. Like, maybe, like, I could pick it up, repaint it to look like the original, and go make a couple $100 off of this figure, you know?
So, hey, you guys want to buy a real 1984? Please let us know.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I might do it for myself one of these days, but then again, I'm more tempted just to leave it the way it is, just so it's never an issue eventually.
Because I like him the way it looks right now, to be honest.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, looking at the shelf, it's not going to be too bad. And the tail details here are actually very nice as well. And I really like how he has a little bit of curve to the tail, like it's not straight back, which is really nice too. And the undersection has a decent amount of detailing here as well. And then go over his articulation real quick. His head can rotate all the way around. His arms can move forward and back, just like I showed you guys not too long ago. And his legs have a little bit of a forward kick, a little bit of a back kick. Can't go all the way back though. And his tail doesn't technically rotate, but does pop off pretty freaking easy. Alright, so for some quick comparison, here we have our Bootleg 84 compared next to the NECA 84 and the NECA 1954, which you can kind of see overall at the size and scale. He's a little bit shorter than everybody else, which is probably the most major nitpick I got out of the figure. But getting a 54 out of the way for a sec. To me though, if you look at the body type and the mold and this overall size, this figure looks so much better than the NECA 84. Overall, like, if I'm going to have these guys staying on my shelf, it's just sad that I'm more proud of the bootleg.
No, but looking at him, you can really tell the difference. Like, wow.
Yeah, like, you can tell even with the feet, like, the feet are super tiny, which is a little bit of a bummer. The arms don't even look quite as correctly. The body sizing, like... This figure, like even the head sculpt, like definitely the head sculpt and the dorsal spines here. But it's just, like, I kind of wish that NECA would have just like, hey, like maybe got a hold of this figure, added some articulated joints, sculpted in their plastic, called it a day.
It would have been much better.
Figure it would have just been much easier. Like, granted, you want to be a little bit artistic, do your stuff your own way, but man, like what could have been.
And what it is, it's so different.
Yeah, and for $30, like I almost recommend just getting this guy over the NECA one. Even though this guy's legit, like, Toho approved this.
Yeah. But then,
you
like,
got this.
If you're a collector, I mean, just by going by the looks, I would go with the bootleg, like.
Yeah. Easily. And here we have our Bootleg 84 next to some other 84s in my collection that are a little more obscure. We have the Imperial Godzilla, the large one, which is, I consider an 84.
You sure that's an 84, Steve?
I consider it. Looks pretty close to me, to be honest. And then we have the official Marmot 84, which is still probably my favorite overall.
He is pretty shiny. I'll give him that.
Yeah, this thing, I still really love it overall. Until we get the X Plus one reissue coming out later this year, which I'm pretty sure I'm picking up that guy. But this guy's still my favorite right now. And here he is next to some Godzillas that I do not know where they came from. Steve, or even if they're actually Godzillas, but I own them.
What are they, Steve?
dinosaurs with spines on their backs. Not 100% sure. Because this guy kind of looks like the Imperial, but he's not actually the Imperial, so I don't know, man. Your guess is as good as mine. And here he is next to some legit Japanese Bandai vinyls with Anguirus and King Ghidorah.
Can I point this out? That is one hideous looking King Ghidorah, man.
You shut your mouth. That is my favorite King Ghidorah that I have.
What?
I like that one over the X Plus because these guys were from my original G-Fest.
That's more of emotional attachment.
You're emotional. So overall with the bootleg Godzilla 84, not too much else to really say about it other than I actually kind of like it.
No, that's definitely like for the price and what it is.
Yeah, for $30, I'm not really gonna complain too much. Although, like, granted, the paint job sucks. Like the paint job of this thing's a throwaway. But overall, the mold's actually still what appears to be pretty close to the Memorial Box set.
Good representation of it.
It's a pretty good representation. Granted, the paint job.
But then, if this is like just random paint jobs, some people might get a better one, some people might get a worse one, though, if they buy it.
Yeah, or even if you guys are going to plan on picking this figure up, I actually would almost treat it more of like a model or a kit figure than actually an action figure. Like, this is a figure I would recommend if you guys are going to pick up, you're probably going to have to invest some time into it to make it look good. Like, this is something you're going to want to mess around with.
Yeah.
You're not going to want for it to just stand on your shelf and just be there and try to look good. You're going to want this because you want an 84 in your collection and you want to make it look as good as possible.
And if you mess up on it in some way, shape, or form, at the end, it's only $30, so it's not that big of a waste.
Yeah, that, and you could get creative with it. Like, maybe, like, personally, like, I kind of want to redo his paint job, maybe give him some glow-in-the-dark spine so it looks like he's actually doing his atomic breath. That's, like, if I mess around with him personally.
I'd make him pink.
He would. He would. But anyways, what would you guys do with this 1984 bootleg Godzilla? Please let us know in the comment section below and help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button. There'll also be more pictures on Facebook. Probably should have said that first, but whatever. And subscribe to become a Ranger today, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.